channel, guys. I'm Joe, and this is what I believe to be the best sports car you can buy for $30,000. It is a 2007 Aston Martin V8 Vantage, and not just any Vantage. This one is a true 6-speed manual one. Alright, so we are in our 2007 Aston Martin V8 Vantage. And why is this the $30,000 sports car that you should buy? Well, let me tell you here. Better yet, why don't you listen? That right there is one of the best stock exhaust notes I have heard. This little 4.3 liter V8 makes quite the racket. That is all stock exhaust with the famous F22 fuse mod that deletes the little variable valve in the exhaust. Otherwise completely stock. That valve opens up at 4,000 RPM, so that's what you hear, even with the fuse in above 4,000 RPMs. It's pretty muted, pretty tame below 4,000 RPMs, but it is the best free modification I have ever seen in a car. These V8 Vantages can now be had near the $30,000 mark. That's incredible to me. This was a 110 base sticker car back in 2007. The one to get is this one here with the 6-speed manual. True manual 3-pedal car can be had near $30,000. Not the Sport Shift automatic, nothing wrong with those, but those run a little cheaper and don't have quite the driving experience as being in complete control. And the old dollars per smiles. Smiles per dollars? Either way, that old rating is high on this. I have yet to leave this thing without a grin on my face. Every time I'm in it, even if it's to go 300 feet to stick gas in it, I have a smile, and that is hard to replace. I don't know. I don't think you can do it for 30 grand. 30 grand, this is the car. But yeah, $30,000. What else can you get at $30,000? This thing has always been a direct competitor to the 911. Not a good one. Never damaged the 911 sales numbers by any means. But this has always been in line. This is what you cross-shopped if you had $100,000 back in 2007. Now, cheaper than an 07 911 Carrera S. A little more power, maybe not as fast, but this is something you don't see every day on the road. We're in little town, 60,000 people, and this thing grabs some attention. Granted, it has a complete matte black vinyl wrap on it, so that ups the attention level a little bit. We have not had near the number of people stop on any other car we've had. This thing grabs people who don't care about cars. They think it's Batmobile, but it is just a sexy looking car, if you want to say. There's nothing else like it on the road, much like the 911, but at the 911 rate, they sold better than 10 of these to every single Aston Martin, and I'd say probably way better than 10 of them. So you aren't going to see these on the road. And when you're buying a sports car, a lot of people want the look, and there's nothing better than the sound and the look. And who doesn't like to feel like James Bond? These were still a hand-built car, so fit and finish in a couple places. Leather, namely, has not aged the greatest, but that's typical on low production stuff. It's pulled, peeled, and done some other things, but that can all be remedied. You can't add character and soul to a car nothing quite like what comes with the Aston Martin. I think even when you start the car up on the dash, it comes up with something like power, beauty, and soul. I mean, yes, it has power. Yes, it has beauty. Yes, it has soul. Everyone getting into highly depreciated sports cars, exotic cars, luxury cars is always worried about the maintenance cost. And that can be true on these, but there is a nice little benefit of a low production vehicle, especially a low production vehicle that was owned by Ford at the time. This thing is a parts bin special. Even the key fob says Volvo on it. It has a Volvo navigation system. It has an engine that shares a lot of architecture with the Ford Jaguar Land Rover V8 of the time. A lot of the parts can be had. You just need to do a little research. It is going to be expensive if you take it to the Aston dealer. But it is old enough and starting to get cheap enough now that there is some info on the interwebs from people maintaining them themselves. A lot of the mechanical parts you're going to replace, you'll find are just simply Bosch parts or some sort of Jaguar Land Rover part. You'll be able to cross this over, do a little research, save yourself a ton of money. Oil changes, a little more money than your typical one. Probably going to be $500, I don't know, at an Aston dealer. But for the DIYer out there, I mean, $150 will get it done. The filter's expensive. You got to do a couple drain plugs or something. We'll have a video up of that too. And but other than that, it just runs 10W60. That is the same as in M cars. So the oil's out there, filters are out there, nothing too crazy. This one at 55,000 miles, we just had it up in the air, checked it all over. Good. It's gonna need an oil change. Anything at 55,000 miles is gonna need something. This thing's been either well taken care of or pretty stout. And from what I've been hearing, they're just pretty stout. Nothing more fun than rolling through the gears in this thing. This thing is exotic feeling. $30,000, exotic feeling. Anyone on the road is thinking you're in a brand new Aston. We have this sitting in front of our building most days, and people come in and are shocked that it is a 2007. They think it's new. You could be a pretend baller for $30,000. The 6-speed transmission in this has some long legs. Right now, 6 gear, 50 miles an hour, we're not even at 2,000 RPMs. And those long gears get you all the way to 175 mile an hour top speed. We're not going to do that in this video. Not at all. We might hit 75. And with its near 50-50 weight distribution, I think it's 48-52. And the Michelin Pilot Sport tires this one has, this thing is also fun to drive in the corners. May not be quite as scary. Doesn't give you the little slip out that a 911 will give you. But it is fun. It's not quite there. We just had a BMW 1M in here. Not quite as lively as that. That's one of the most lively feeling handling cars I've ever had. But going back to back from this to that on the road, I didn't track them, but on the road, this gives a similar experience, which is awesome because the 1M, instant classic, one of the most fun stock vehicles you can get your hands on. It has some big Brembo brakes on all 4 corners. Look good with them red painted calipers that say Aston Martin on it. But they stop great. They're steel brakes, so they're not going to be expensive like a carbon ceramic to replace. It's got a separate parking brake caliper. what's more exotic than that? And speaking of the parking brake, there's a story on that. We had this transported in from out east. And the first transporter couldn't pick it up because he couldn't figure out the parking brake. Yeah, you lift it up and it drops back down. You want it off, you lift it back up, push a button in, drop it back down. Gotta love the British. And being this was a low production, $100,000+ vehicle, you get all the neat features that came with semi-exotic cars back in the day. The door handles. It's got cool door handles. Because you need a cool door handle. The ashtray. You know, because it's a British car, you gotta have an ashtray. The ashtray is glass. That is a nice feature. And nothing says exotic with doors that don't open just straight out. These have what I would say is like a 3-inch lift up. Small little touch, big points to impress all your bros. One other feature that makes you feel high class is the start button. Right below those center vents. It is very expensive feeling and looking. Lights up red. Oh, it's just good. Good. And that's what's neat about this Aston Martin. And it's what you don't get in a lot of other cars that you can buy for $30,000. There's a lot of neat little touches that Aston Martin did. Everything was thought out. Maybe not thought out well, but everything looks nice. Everything looks pretty. Everything has its place. Everything is designed well. The climate control knobs are aluminum and ribbed and have a nice little click when you turn them. It's just, it feels high class. And that is Aston Martin high class. At 380 horsepower, it's not overly fast. I'm not gonna lie. It does 0 to 60 in sub 5 second, mid 13 quarter mile, which in 2020 terms keeps up with the average. It's like, I don't know, not even as fast as a Mustang GT. But would you rather drive a Mustang GT than this? You can't honestly say yes. I mean, this thing isn't even that far off in price from a Civic Si. A Civic Si. An Aston Martin. Is that even a decision an irresponsible person would make? It's always Aston Martin. And this versus the 911 in the exhaust department, this one. Listen to the free exhaust mod. That, boys and girls, free. You have to do like the Gundo hack and send your mufflers off to a muffler shop to get that kind of extra noise out of your 911. I'm by no means knocking a 911. A 911 is the quintessential sports car. We've had some. I love them. Love 911s. But I will say, having had both, if you want more attention, if you want to look like you have more money, the Aston Martin V8 Vantage is a better ticket. The 911's a cool car, but the 911 is a cool car to car guys. The Aston Martin is a awesome car to everyone. And with that is why this should be your next $30,000 sports car. If you like this video and you want to see some more car business related videos, hit the subscribe button. That'd make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And why don't you comment down below what $30,000 sports car you would purchase? I always love hearing what everyone else thinks. If you enjoyed the video, throw us a like down below. And as always, guys, have a good night. Appreciate you watching. Well, someone's been in the gravel. Ew.